Hi friends, how are you? Today we will discuss about components of English language. There are three components of English language. They are form, content, use. Under the form contains three categories. They are phonology, morphology and syntax. And under the content comes semantics. And under the use comes pragmatics. Now let us go a little deeper. What is phonology? Phonology is the study of the phonemes. Then what is a phoneme? Phoneme is the smallest unit of a sound. That means it is just a sound. And for an example, if you say dog, in the word dog, there are three phonemes. They are d, o, g. Like that, that is the sound. And phonemes are further classified into two. They are vowels and consonants. And how many vowel sounds are there? Vowels are 20 and consonants are 24. Here some people get confused with that vowels are only 5, that is A, E, I, O, U, and consonants are 21. Here friends, you see sounds are different from the letters. They are 5 vowels and 21 consonants means they are the letters, that is A, E, I, O, U, and consonants are other than A, E, I, O, U, the remaining letters. And now here we are talking about the sounds. When we talk about the sounds, vowels are 20 and consonants are 24. And vowels are further classified into two types. They are, one is monophthong and the other one is diphthong. Monophthong means what? Monophthong, in the word itself the meaning is there. Mono means single, phthong means sound. That means in monophthong only a single vowel sound is there. For an example, teeth. If you say teeth, in that E, a single vowel sound is there. And if we say cat, in that A, that is a single vowel sound is there. And when we see the diphthong, there are 8 diphthongs, and here monophthongs are 12 and diphthongs are 8. Diphthongs means di means two, thong means sound. Here two vowel sounds are there. For an example, house. When we say house or you, two vowel sounds are we can hear. And when we say noise or e, two vowel sounds we can see here. So these are the diphthongs. And when we come back to our next type, that is the morpheme. Okay, what is the morpheme? The study of the what is morphology? The study of the morpheme is called morphology. And what is the morpheme? Morpheme is the smallest unit of the speech which contains meaning. There in phoneme, that is the smallest unit of sound and it does not contain the meaning. But in the morpheme, it contains the meaning, that is the smallest unit of the speech. For an example, in the morpheme, we say work, play, eat, etc. And morphemes are further classified into two types. They are free morphemes and bound morphemes. When we see about the free morpheme, work, play, etc. like that, means it stays freely and it has the meaning independently. And when we see about the bound morphemes, it does not stay independently. For an example, ing, it does not have an independent meaning. When it is combined with the free morpheme, that is work, this ing when combines with the work, then it becomes the working. Now this word has the meaning. Like that, bound morpheme when combined with the free morpheme, then only it will get the meaning. Okay, and the next one is syntax. What is syntax? Syntax is nothing but the order, means the study of the principles and rules of a sentence which is concerned with that. That means here when we talk a sentence, that should be in an order, otherwise it does not look nice. For an example, if I say bought he car new, does it have any meaning? No. We can't say it like a sentence. When we write the same like he bought a new car, then the sentence looks correct. That means the sentence should be written in an order. What is that order? Subject, verb, object. Subject is he, verb is bought, and object is a new car. That is the syntax. That means the order of the sentence. And the next type is, that is the second component of the language. What is that? That is the content. And under this content comes the semantics. What is the semantics? Semantics is the meaning of words, signs, symbols, phrases, and all these things. That is, here the semantics means it tells about the meaning, main. For an example, if we say, I like to eat a piece of cake. Here we can understand that you are going to eat something. That is the meaning here. And one more sentence if we see, today my homework is a piece of cake. Here from this we can take two types of meaning. That means we can understand this sentence in two manners. One manner is if you are going to the cooking classes, then you can think that today the homework of yours is how to prepare a cake. And the second manner is my homework is a piece of cake, means here a piece of cake is a phrase and it indicates the meaning that it is very easy. That means your homework is very easy here. Like that, if you understand the exact meaning of the sentence, you can construct a sentence in any manner which you can get the same meaning or other meaning. Like means the meaning is the important thing here in the semantics. And the next one is, next component of the language is use. Under this use comes the pragmatics. Pragmatics is nothing but the ability of a language speaker to communicate with the others, and the ability of the same speaker to understand the other speaker's intended meaning. That means pragmatics tells the practical usage of the language, means how we will use practically the language. This is not the theory. How we use the language in a practical manner, how we talk and how we arrange the sentence and how we conversate with others or communicate with others. This comes under the pragmatics. And friends, I think so you understand. Thank you.